This isn't just any SUV. This is an Ineos Grenadier Trialmaster. It's built for purpose, not for pretense. I'm Justin from Above the Clouds Overlanding. Normally I'm not this serious, so let's go have some fun. And why don't we go for a ride and talk about the car. All right, so this is a 2024 Ineos Grenadier Trialmaster. And apologize, just me trying to have fun. This is my second video I've ever shot. I'm doing it on an iPhone 16 Pro, and my wife is actually filming right now. I'm very much a beginner at all of this, so forgive some of the errors, and I'm sure I'm going to say some things that might not be 100% accurate. Doing this in one take because I don't have any editing software. I'll be editing on the iMovie for now. But eventually I'll be getting some actual professional camera equipment. So enough about that. Let's talk about the car. Again, it's a 2024 Ineos Grenadier Trialmaster. Trialmaster is like a trim level. So I'm going to talk about really subjective things related to this car, more so than the objective things that you could find on any website. And obviously, because it's subjective, it's coming from my perspective, my opinion. I've got a lot of years of driving four-wheel drive vehicles, off-road. Nothing too challenging, but I've had a lot of fun with them. I grew up overseas. I did a lot of overlanding when I was a kid. We didn't call it overlanding back then. It was just off-roading, and it was a lot of fun. The first vehicle that I ever learned how to drive was an Isuzu Trooper. It was a right-hand drive, stick shift Isuzu Trooper from the 1990s, and I drove off-road in Kenya a lot. This vehicle is a far cry from that. It's pretty amazing. So it's got solid axles. The axles are built by an Italian company. Forgive me, but I can't remember the name of them. But that company they're known for building tractor axles, actually. And so this thing is very heavy duty. It's a 6,000 pound plus vehicle. It was designed and built by a company called Ineos. Ineos is a petrochemical company out of the UK, and the story is that their owner is the richest man in the UK, and he got upset with Land Rover because they changed the Defender and turned that into a luxury vehicle. And I apologize for any of the viewers that are big time new Defender fans. I know it's capable, but it is a luxury vehicle compared to what the old Defenders are. And so he built this, long story short. He built the Ineos Grenadier, and I absolutely love this car. So a few things that people like to complain about right off the bat. They complain about the steering. And remember when I said that this is purpose-built, not for pretense? Well, there's a lot of truth to that. So I'll admit that on road, it doesn't have the most refined feeling when you're driving it. I don't seem to have a problem with it as much as other people do. People talk about it wandering on the freeways at 60 plus miles an hour. I've driven this thing all the way to Las Vegas from Southern California on mountain roads and on freeways up to 80 miles an hour, and I never had that problem. I spent about 1,700 miles of this, about 1,500 miles of this vehicle's life was spent completely stock. So typically I like to put my vehicles through a little bit more time in stock format prior to making big changes to them, but I had the opportunity to do it and I was really excited. So we'll talk about some of the changes I've already made to the vehicle itself. Let's see, what else should I talk about here? So let's talk about the dashboard and the riding characteristics first. So as you can see here on this screen, your miles per hour, your gas gauge, the gear that you're in, and all of that is on the left-hand side. If you look at this screen over here, this is all of our warning lights. So it's something to get accustomed to, and it's interesting. The warning light that you see right here is simply because of the ADAS system, which is behind the rear view mirror there. It's looking for speedometers and obviously, speed limit signs, and obviously because I'm off-road, it's not seeing anything, so it's giving me that warning light. Right now, I'm not in off-road mode. I'm in standard mode. The vehicle is full-time four-wheel drive, so right down here you can see the transfer case shifter. You got high-low, and you can lock it in both positions. This is how you navigate through the screen, although it is touchscreen as well. It's a ZF8 transmission out of a BMW, and it is a BMW engine as well. It's a BMW B58 engine. It's a 3.0 inline six. Same engine that's in the Supra. Obviously, this one is tuned a little bit differently. So it feels a lot like a diesel. Doesn't sound like one, thank God, but it feels a lot like a diesel, and it gets full torque at about 1,500 RPM. So that's a lot of fun. Right now, I've got the off-road screen on, and you can see there it's got the attitude, and then your altitude is here as well. So it gives you an altitude. It gives you the degree of wheel angle on the steering wheel. So if I continue turning the steering wheel left, you can see that change. You got an outside temperature on there. All of this is configurable as well. I can change that over to where I can monitor tire pressures and temperatures, as well as gearbox transfer case temperatures. They also have a feature called Pathfinder, where you can follow a previously established path, or you can record a new path that you've never been on, and the vehicle will record a GPS path that you can follow later on. It also has some statistics that you can go through here, where it gives you your lats and longs, your current altitude, how long you've been traveling, the time that you've been traveling, average fuel mileage, and then a little graph of your altitude and where you've been. And then the electrical system, it gives you the amount of amperage that's available. It does have 2 batteries. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. That's it for off-road mode. I kind of leave it either here or here typically. That's what I prefer. To put it in off-road mode, which is an interesting thing, if you pan up here, you'll see the control panel. It's almost like an aircraft, and I love the buttons. I'm a kid at heart, and so all the button pushes are fun. Everything up here is related to either the front winch that I have, or and it's a factory winch that I have on here, made by a company called Red. They're pretty much the UK equivalent of like a Warren winch, made in the UK. So this powers all the external lights, and we'll talk about those features here in a little bit. To put it in off-road mode, you hold down the off-road button right here, and then you'll see it flashing. And to confirm, you can see on the screen down here, it asks you to confirm. To confirm, you push it again. Now, if you look at these warning lights over here, it tells you everything that's off and everything that's on. So now all the babysitters are off. I can take my seatbelt off and not hear that ding. I will still get that warning there, but now I can drive around in off-road mode with no seatbelts on, and so can my passenger if they prefer. It takes away the traction control and a lot of the other babysitters. Turns off the automatic emergency braking, which you'll see that warning light up here every now and then. I'm still in high and unlocked because this is a regular trail that honestly you could take a Subaru on it, but we'll talk about some features related to this here in a little bit. As bad as the steering, as people say the steering is on road, it is amazing off-road. So a lot of the times when you hit even some of these little bumps that I'm running into right now, or the ditches that you're about to see in front of me, if you hit those at high speed, in a lot of vehicles you get a wiggle of your steering wheel, and sometimes you get even what a lot of people refer to as bump steer. In this vehicle, it stays planted, so you can be turned a pretty high degree and hit a large bump and not feel a thing. It's pretty fantastic off-road. Again, purpose built, right? So this thing is capable of doing some amazing stuff in completely stock mode, and a lot of people will tell you that you shouldn't change it at all. In fact, there's some disadvantages to what I did to the vehicle, which I put 35-inch tires on it actually today. 31-inch tires are much more available overseas. I don't intend on driving this thing overseas. I doubt I'll ever do that. I've got plenty of trails here in the United States to do what I want to do, and there's availability everywhere for 35-inch tires. I mean, everybody knows that the 37s are the new 35s, etc. So when we get to where we're going up here, a different film spot where I can allow people to pass us, I'll take control of the camera and we'll go over some exterior features and some more interior features of the vehicle. Just real quick, just to show you some cuteness, if you want to call it cuteness. I absolutely love this. It's got 2 horns, so check it out. Here's the regular one, and here's the toot horn. All right, be back with you guys in a bit. All right, so we've come up to an obstacle. Obviously, we could take a bypass if we wanted to. I'm in full-time four-wheel drive right now. So in order to get up this obstacle, let's try to put this in high lock. So now the center differential is locked. You can see that on the warning screen right here. It shows the center differential locked. So we're going to try to get up this obstacle real quick. And you can see that I'm not doing it. There's no way it's going to make it. So I'm going to reverse out of this. And I'm going to put it in 4 low and lock it. So now I'm in 4 low. And you can see that because the dashboard shows the L right here and the locked center differential. And let's go ahead and lock the rear differential. Okay, you can see it flashing there. The light's flashing here. I'm going to put it in drive. And now it's solid, you can see that. And so let's try that obstacle one more time. Now we're doing a whole lot better. Well, we actually had some wheel travel on there. So this thing does not have disconnecting sway bars. But as you can see, it's gotten up this obstacle pretty easily. All right, so here's the exterior of it. Only a few changes that I've made. I've added the Factor 55 Ultra hook and the spool for the line. Does have, this is because it's a Trialmaster. That is not a snorkel. That's just a extended air intake, essentially, or raised air intake. I've done the Eibach makes the springs for these. I've done a 1.7 inch lift in the front with a 1.2 in the back. And I have true 35 inch tires here. And as you can see, I'm at full lock right now on the steering. And it's not rubbing anywhere. Haven't noticed any rubbing with articulation yet. So I think I'm pretty good with that. It looks like it's pretty well clearing. And it does have the stock steel rims on there. Beautiful night. Here's the back of it. I did get the Agile off-road spare tire relocation bracket. And decided to have that on there because otherwise you wouldn't be able to open and close these doors with the larger size tire on there. The only other modifications I've made so far are on the interior. I'm sorry, I did do the side view mirrors, which I'm special and I broke that one on installation, so got a new one coming. But those are the Suma side mirrors. So a few things about this vehicle that I don't like from stock. The rear view or the side view mirrors are absolutely terrible. Those things, I mean, it's got a blind spot in it that you could almost hide a tractor trailer in. So these side view mirrors are convex. So they provide quite a bit more visibility, and the visibility now is great. The only other thing that I don't like about this vehicle and that I have not changed or modified yet is the steering radius. It is absolutely atrocious, and it's really bad when you try to tow things. This thing does have an amazing tow capacity and cargo capability. I mean, the roof by itself can hold 900 pounds up there. And the towing capacity, I don't remember exactly what that is. You can look that up, but it is better than a Gladiator. The roof, it does, because it's a Trialmaster, it comes with that electrical outlet system right here. So there's 4 of them on the roof, and you can plug in. It's pre-wired. You can plug in whatever you want to that. You can hook up a Starlink satellite system. You can hook up lights, whatever you'd like. You can get these with what's called safari windows, and they're kind of like skylights. There's 2 individual ones above each front seat, and those can lift up entirely, so you can literally stand in the seat and stand out of that. We chose not to get that, so we do not have that feature. On the interior, let's talk about that a little bit. This does have the option for the leather seats. You can get it without the leather seats and still get heated seats as well. Did this change right here on the dashboard, right there, with the Agile Off-Road dashboard handle there, and the bracketry for me to hold my iPad mini. And I also changed out the grab handles. And there's a grab handle. So interestingly enough, the stock mode, there's no grab handle on the driver's side. So right now, that is the only modification I've made on the interior. I do intend on changing this out with the Grenadier USA version for larger cup holders. That's the other thing that this thing does not have that I would love to have, is more cup holders. And the cup holders it does have are literally the size of a 12-ounce can. So can't put much in there. Moving to the back seats, plenty of space. No center console in the back seats, and no cup holders. And I apologize, it is a little bit on the dark side. We'll try to make some changes to that. But it does have those power outlets right there. So 120 volt power outlet, and a USB-C and a USB. Doors sound like they close. The doors sound amazing when you close them. It's a lot like the doors in a G-Wagon, which actually they bought the factory that G-Wagons are produced in France, and that's where these are produced. Just opening this up to show you the back cargo space. Hopefully it's lit up a little bit better. I'll see if I can brighten that up in post a little bit. Got this L-track all over the place. It's in the back here. This is a very large compartment. There's little pockets, so there's another power outlet behind this door right here. But you can see the L-track on the side, right there, and right here, and up there on the door. The L-track is specifically designed for you to be able to mount just about anything to it. So they make all kinds of accessories for it. You can mount external fuel. I've seen camping tables, you name it. But yeah, you can mount whatever you want to that. So I intend on getting some mounts for some cameras at some point, some action cameras. But that's the vehicle. I'm in Southern California, up in the mountains, in the San Jacinto Mountains actually, and what you're seeing down there is Hemet. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you guys.